TheAngryHoneyBadger.
Hey everyone, it is TheAngryHoneyBadger here, and it is time for us to take a look at another champion build video today. We're going to be playing as Katarina in mid lane, obviously as our mage or our AP carry. What we're going to do today in this video is talk about Katarina, a little bit of everything you might need to know if you're either looking to either refresh on Katarina or if you're just looking to start playing Katarina. So, what we're going to do today is talk about her runes and her masteries, her abilities, and her items that you might want to try out while you're playing Katarina. Now, couple disclosures just right at the front of this video. I have tried something new on her that works fairly well for me. So that's what I'm going to cover on this build. We'll talk about her kind of more generic ones too, but this video, trying something new, it's been working really well, so we're going to do that. Just roaming early, thought he was going to actually queue back over to Gangplank after he tagged him. We're going to ignite him and pick up a kill on him, which will help us out early on, obviously, throughout this game. So that's what we're going to do there. We roamed before Bran did, so obviously, you got to pay attention to your mini-map and obviously what's happening, so a little double gank happening in top lane. First middle laner to really address that happening is going to usually walk away with the better success for their team. So that's what we did early on. Now, let's go ahead and talk about Katarina's abilities. And so we know what we're talking about as this game goes on. First, we have her passive, which on a kill or an assist, Katarina's cooldowns get reduced by 15 seconds. So you get a kill or an assist, and all of your normal abilities are going to be up right away. And your ultimate's going to be on a very short cooldown because of this. So late game, you get a couple assists, your ultimate's almost immediately off of cooldown. Then at level 1, what we want to do is put a point into our Q ability. This is your bouncing blades. Katarina's going to throw a blade out. It's going to hit enemies. It's going to deal magic damage to them. And it scales from ability power. When it hits someone, subsequently, they're going to do 10% less damage, but it will leave a mark on them. If you consume the mark by using a standard attack or another ability, you're going to deal even more damage to them when you do consume that mark. So because of that consumable damage, you're going to want to max bouncing blades first. Now, this game, I know if you watch me level things up, I'm actually trying something funky this game. I was actually maxing my W out for fun just to give it a shot, see how it felt in comparison. It's not actually terrible, but you don't get as much of that consumable damage, though your next ability, which was your W, your Sinister Steel, it does have more base damage on it, so you do get a little bit more damage on that without consuming a blade, but once again, it's a weird trade-off. I was just trying it. So max out your Q first. Then, like I said, Sinister Steel, you're going to put a point into that typically at level 2. That is going to deal, magic damage to them as well. Scales from ability power and from attack damage. And whenever you hit an enemy champion, you're going to gain movement speed, which is also really nice for chasing and just for mobility while in lane. We're going to max that out second. Then at level 3, put a point into your Shunpo. Basically, you're going to jump to target location, deal magic damage once again, does scale from ability power. You also will take 15% less damage for 1.5 seconds after you use it. You can jump to pretty much anything you want to with this ability. So jump to your minions, jump to the enemy minions, jump all over the place. It's fun. And that's your Shunpo. You're going to max that out last. And then there's your ultimate, which is your Death Lotus. You're going to fling those blades all around for 2.5 seconds. You're going to send 10 daggers out to your 3 closest enemies. It deals a lot of damage, scales from attack damage and ability power, and quite a lot of it for a few reasons. We'll go over it. Yeah. Oh, the daggers thrown apply grievous wound as well, reducing healing and regeneration by 50% for 3 seconds. So, kind of nice if people are trying to heal through it as well. Now, a lot of people hate Katarina. They think she's overpowered because of her ultimate does a lot of damage. Well, yeah, that's true, but if anybody saves a little bit of crowd control for Katarina, it just turns her ultimate off immediately, and then she really doesn't have much damage until she starts getting resets, which if she doesn't get a lot of damage off, she won't get a reset. Here we'll pick up a kill, just kind of baited it out while our jungler came around to help with that gank. So that's what we were doing there. So Death Lotus does scale from attack damage and ability power. We're going to talk about an item you can consider building on Katarina. That is kind of amazing. But we're going to go ahead and continue onward. Those are your abilities. So once again, max your Q, then your W, then your E. Make sure you put points in your ultimate at levels 6, 11, and 16. Pretty simple stuff straight down the line. So that's what you do. At level 1, when I play Katarina, I like to actually take boots and pots. Early on, she might have a little bit tougher time farming. Exchanging damage is sometimes difficult depending on your lane matchup, so having those extra pots is helpful, and the mobility from boots is also not a terrible thing. It allows me to jump in when I do hit them with that Q, and then if I want to consume it by shumpoing in and then using Sinister Steel, I get a bit more movement speed. You usually can get out with that exchange. Here, we're just going to bait this out once again because Elise is behind. Going to jump over, pick up an assist, take a little bit of damage, but not too much. and we're going to be good to go. So good ganks happening. We're doing a decent job too early on picking up farm. And also, I will say, when you do put points into your Sinister Steel, it is easier for picking up farm. Once again, you lose the damage out, though, on that consumable from your Bouncing Blades. So it's a trade-off. But once again, just max Bouncing Blades first. It's typically just better on. So, now, this is where the build gets weird. It's the first item I build on Katarina, and let's go ahead and talk about specific builds while we chase down these two and pick up a kill. What is this new thing I've been doing is there's usually two main builds to Katarina. There's the Gunblade build, which is good because you can use its active to slow somebody while you're ulting, and then they'll get slow, they'll get stuck in your ultimate. Now, that's only single target, but that builds you ability power, and it builds you a little bit of attack damage, which your Sinister Steel and your ultimate scale really well with attack damage, so it's not a wasted item. Also, you get lifesteal with that item, so I still like the Gunblade build first. It's good. The other build would be the Hourglass build, which is good. It's single target damage, though, so you're really focusing on annihilating one person. You're still going to do plenty of damage all over the board, but that's typically a little more single target. Here we're actually using what I'm calling the new third build style for Katarina, which would be the Twin Shadows build. Now, Twin Shadows build, I like the idea of because they changed Twin Shadows, so you get 80 ability power, you get cooldown reduction, and you get movement speed. All of those things very good on her. And because you get 2 of those ghosts, when you activate Twin Shadows, it will keep 2 people stuck in your ultimate even longer if you're able to use it in that capacity. So this is kind of a new thing I like to try with Katarina. This is mostly just a lot of roaming we just saw. Started in bottom, went up towards mid, helped out our jungler. She did unfortunately die there, but after we killed Brand in mid lane, we picked up a kill on top lane. So, and here we're just actually going to bait out a little bit longer because we have GP coming up. So if I can keep Lee Sin interested, then this is good for me. So I'm going to try to keep an eye on him. I thought he kind of ran away. We're looking for him. There he is. So he's actually stuck between us now. So still going to keep baiting it out. I have everything up so I can use that. I actually tag him, consume the mark, and ult immediately. I'll just flash and get a standard attack in there, pick it up, because after I did that initial damage, I knew I could pick up the kill and secure it. So a lot of roaming. Katarina does strive to roam really well. So roaming goes a lot further on her because all you want to do is snowball your advantage in the game, because the sooner you get ahead, the sooner your ultimate can really start tearing people apart. And because of low cooldowns, once you get resets from kills, you can typically keep roaming and keep picking up kills. So very, very important to roam with Katarina. And you don't even have to feel too bad if you use everything like I just did in mid on Brand, because it's going to force him back and it's going to cause me to roam again. And my ultimate is not on that long of a cooldown, so it's not a huge issue. So yeah, back to those 3 styles of builds. Those are the first items for all those builds. Here we're going to actually catch Outnaustus a little bit, pick up another kill on him. Like I said, we're going to roam. I got mid tower down. He's got mid tower down, but we're just going to keep pressing advantages in whatever lanes we can help support that in. So there's the Deathfire build, there's the Gunblade build, and then there's the Twin Shadow build, which I'm starting to like. I've used it a handful of times. It's worked out incredibly well. The movement speed's also super helpful. The cooldown reduction is obviously nice. You do get that with Deathfire Grasp as well. But it's also a fairly cheap item too, and apart from being able to use the ghosts offensively to get people stuck in your ultimates, Katarina might get focused pretty hard. If you get people chasing you, you can activate it and get 2 of them to immediately basically have to back off because they're going to be so slowed from trying to come to you. They're just not going to get onto you. So odd utility that can be used for your team too. So weird build. Try it out before you just hate on it. It works really well. It's a bit odd. So that's what we're doing. Now, the next thing that we've done, sometimes I like to get a little bit extra early health, and we get some magic penetration from it too. I picked up a Haunting Guise. I won't finish it yet into a Liandrys. What I'm going to do now is start to focus on a couple big ticket items that are going to really help deal damage. So we have penetration with our boots right now, and with the Guise, which is great. Now, if we get some actual ability power, we're really going to be burning through people. So we're starting to focus on getting a Deathcap. So that's what we're going to do right now. We have the Needlessly Large Rod and the Blasting Wand right now. So we're not too far out from picking that up. And that's really where we're going to start to get incredibly explosive. So next, we're going to go over her, let's talk about her runes for a second. These are pretty simple. What I like to take on her is those magic penetration marks. We go with the health seals. We go with the scaling AP glyphs, and then I also like AP quintessences. Some people do like to use the movement speed quints on her too, but once again, we do get some movement speed from the Twin Shadows, so I don't have to worry about it as bad. Gonna pick up a quick little double kill, just flashed, use the Sinister Steel onto Brand, and yeah, it's just gonna be pretty helpful and good to go, really. So that's what we're doing with all of that right now. So what we're gonna do is help out with Dragon and tank it while our ADC kind of finishes it off. not too much of a problem there. And we have officially finished the Deathcap, which is what we wanted. Now next, few items, depending on how you want to rush it, and your lane. If you're obviously going up against an AD laner, you're going to probably want to rush your Hourglass a bit quicker, or at least pick the first part of it with that Seeker's Arm Guard to keep you safe, give you a little bit of armor. Here, that's what we're going to start building next. This is a big sacrifice. I knew I was going to die, but I wanted to clean up as many as I could. Pick up the immediate triple kill. Unfortunately, my ultimate's going to come off a cooldown in 1 second. Now we can start to use it, get in this bush, try to protect ourselves. But he might have had that ward, came in immediately and ended my life. But we did pick up an assist, so 3 kills. Not too bad. They only get 1 turret instead of forcing down a whole lane. Occasionally, I will just jump in as Katarina as the sacrifice. But the main thing is, once you get those resets, by starting to pick up those kills with your ultimate, once you pick up those resets, all your abilities are instantly reset because of that passive. Just start shunpoing around and sinister stealing and throwing your bouncing blades again, and oh my gosh, you will just keep resetting and resetting and resetting. So you'll see some Katarinas, they're just so hard to catch because they're getting their resets and they keep shunpoing around to targets and you can't keep your eye on her, and then you're all dead because she kept getting resets. So that usually is what is so scary about Katarina, not really her ultimate, it's those resets she gets. So a lot of Katarinas will usually stand on the outside of the battle for a little bit and wait for the enemy team to kind of start taking not only a handful of damage to start getting them to a point where she can come in and annihilate them so she gets her resets, but she'll wait for them to also use their crowd control, because if they use their crowd control, then they can't CC her out of her ultimate, so she can come in and really make sure that she can secure all of those kills. So pretty simple. There, we just jumped on Lee Sin and annihilated him quick. That wasn't too bad. We're going to try to get up on this tower. We can use the ghosts too to keep them away from the tower as we all move in. And I'm also looking for openings. I can pretty much also, when it's not a full team, Kat can usually run up towards them and kind of scare them away, because if she jumps on somebody, it's going to hurt. Especially at this point in the game, we do have plenty of damage. We're going to jump in and pick up another couple kills and an assist. And then we're going to go chase Brand, because why the heck not? Now, he does flash, and we're not going to be able to shunpo that distance, but he comes back, so all I got to do is juke back for him and to pick up a kill. So picked up 4 kills in that fight, or 4 overall. And yeah, we have like 20-some kills this game. But Katarina, once you get ahead, it's pretty easy to keep going and keep doing that process. So here we did finish out that Hourglass. Now we do have a little survivability too if we do get focused and we're not in a position to either have our resets immediately or if we're just in a bad spot. So we do have our Zhonya's Hourglass, which also does give us a lot of ability power as well. So teaming that up too with the Deathcap, that's going to keep boosting our stats, is really helpful. We did finish out to that haunting Guise into the Liandrys Torment as well. Super good item. I don't know. There's probably a few other choices you could totally go with, but it's good. It gives you some health too, which helps with some survivability. Now here, actually, we're going to kind of bait the enemy team out because I know I can destroy him. There we use the Ghost. Here he's going to drop that. I'm going to Hourglass. They'll close in on it because they know once it's up, I'll be done. But there I just actually shunpo over and ult them and then instantly reset and pick up both of those kills pretty simply. So kind of baited them into that fight. I knew I could take them both on and catch them off guard because I had my ult up and everything. So once they came back in, because they knew I'd be standing still from using Hourglass, they pounced on them and got the job done. So next, we're going to go ahead over those Masteries. Pretty simple stuff on Katarina for the Masteries. You're going to go with 21-9-0. Now, 21 in the offensive tree to pick up everything that's going to help you with increased ability power ratios, which is going to be very helpful over there. Some cooldown reduction in there too and some other things. So you're going to pick up 21 in the offensive tree. Then you're going to also go for 9 in the defense. You don't need really anything in utility. You don't need anything over there because you're not mana-based or anything. You're just cooldown-based, so you don't have to worry about energy or mana or anything like that. So you're going to pick up a little bit of defense, which will help you out early on and through the game as it continues, with a little reduced damage with, you know, veteran scars and unyielding and things like that. So, and recovery with some health regen. So here the Soraka ult comes out a bit early on the enemy team. Now we can see how we kind of wait a second. Now we jump in, pick up a couple, well, 1 kill and an assist. We're trying to focus the carry there. Don't really want to worry about Nasus there. We're going to actually ult from distance here, but we get enough blades on her to pick up a kill. We have plenty of damage. And, yeah, we're doing fine. So there. We're going to actually jump in and spin, and we have the turret aggro on us, which is actually going to help our Elise live through that encounter as she started taking too many tower shots. So, but yeah, just cleaning up. We're way ahead at this point. And Katarina, once she gets ahead, it's hard to slow her down. So you just wait on the outside of that fight for things to kind of get underway. You wait for them to, you know, maybe get a little bit, I don't know. You just wait for them to get a little bit low, or wait for them to blow their crowd control. Because once again, if they don't have the crowd control available, they're not going to be able to stop your ultimate, and that's going to really provide a lot of power for you to get your resets. So, and like I said, resets is what kind of makes you super amazing. So this last trip back to base, we did finish off our final item. We went with the Void Staff, going to help us out with plenty of damage and with even more magic penetration. So even if they try to stop us, there's an Hourglass that saved my life right there, because we were trying to defend that tower as they all shoved up. So we're gonna go chase down Soraka as well. So super fun. But final item gonna help round out the build too. And here we can actually catch up. Or no, she actually barely gets in Shunpo range, and just a quick explosion of damage is gonna end off Tristana. So yeah. What else to say about Katarina? If you're playing against an enemy Katarina, save some form of a stun or a knock-up or something so she cannot just get all of her resets and use her ultimate. That's the main thing you gotta look out for. But other than that, if you have any questions, you can leave them down below. Everything you need to know about this build is in the description. And until next time, I'll just see all of you guys in the next build video. And now what's going to happen is Thresh is going to move into this fight. Zilean, though, comes in hard, only gets one bomb on me, takes a bunch of turret aggro, and he's going to actually try to sneak up, but we have this warded, so I'm just going to buckshot him in the face and pick up the kill. So